Oh, we still have some juice. Say hi.
Hi.
So we heard from the grapevine that Will Smith has been banned for 10 years for attending the Academy Awards ceremony. 10 years. And this was a result of the slap that was heard across the world of entertainment and film. At the biggest night, the Academy Award event, the Oscars, Will Smith went up to the stage and slapped comedian Chris Rock after Chris Rock made some jokes about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife. The jokes were directed at her hair.
Yeah, we know the story. Everyone knows it. So, like, get to the, like, okay, so when did they make this announcement?
This announcement
is it just now?
Breaking news.
So that means that it took them a week to decide on this? So it's like one thought that I have, like, why is it a week finally after everyone is talking about it, then they're like, crap, we should definitely punish Will Smith. So they do it. And then what I want to know is, well, I feel like that's harsh.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do you feel like it's harsh?
I feel like, I mean, yeah, there should be consequences, but 10 years?
Now, mind you, it's just attendance ceremony, the ceremony and associated activities.
Right.
Being
so
hosted.
He's still like able to get an award. He just can't attend the ceremony to accept it. He'll just have to be, he'll have to have his representative to accept the award for him.
Okay,
right?
so
that's how it is.
Right. One side of me feels like it's fair, and the other side of me feels like that's weak as hell, because this guy was violent.
He was violent.
He set a precedent that any comedian is at risk of getting violently attacked when they make a joke, and that's not the type of precedence that you want to set, especially with someone with his.
Okay,
caliber.
yeah, when you put it like that, okay, I guess. I don't know why. For some reason, it just feels like it's a lot. But it feels like he's going to jail for 10 years. Like, that's how I feel. And I'm like,
Nah, I don't feel sorry for Will. I don't think he misses. They've actually voluntarily stayed away from the Oscars in the past. Remember? Like in 2016, matter of fact, that was when Chris Rock made his first joke about Jada Smith. When they sat out of the event.
Is there a whole history
There's
here?
A history here.
Is there some?
Her and her husband sat out from attending the Oscars back in 2016 because this was when this was around the Oscars So White movement.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
And that was their way of demonstrating or protesting. So they sat out.
But what did Chris Rock say about that?
Chris Rock said, it's like, okay, his joke was, the Smiths not attending the Oscars is like Rihanna not allowing me to see her panties. Wait. Yeah, like, basically he was just saying, like, he was never invited.
Oh.
So he was basically making a joke that the Oscars didn't invite you guys anyway. So
is that true?
I don't think they were up for any win that year. And Will Smith has had a string of flops when it comes to movies. So he was making a joke that they weren't even invited to the Oscars anyway. So you're sitting out in protest doesn't matter.
Oh wait, they sat out in protest after, like, so they weren't even like, oh, so why did they even sit out in protest? What's the point of that?
Well, because they were trying to protest for social justice.
So they made the announcement that they were protesting before anything anyway?
No, mind you, we're talking about 2016 here, not recent events. Back then, there was a social justice protest that all of the recent Oscar nominees were all white. There's no representation in like black and brown communities, which was valid.
So, but what I'm saying is, would Will Smith and his wife have been going anyway?
I doubt that they would have been going anyway if
So they just made the announcement just to be part of like the train.
I don't want to speak because I don't know if they were gonna go. No one knows if they're planning to go anywhere. I don't know how it works. Whether it makes sense for you to attend if you're not up for any awards. I don't know how that works in that world. But they made the choice and they announced it. And Chris Rock, who was hosting the Oscars that year, picked on them about it. Made a joke about it. Fast forward 5 years later,
So they
6 years
already
later,
basically didn't like Chris Rock.
they were
because of
already
that.
they were already stewing about it, and clearly they haven't talked about it in those years.
That was 6 years ago, literally.
I know.
So
So Chris Rock making another joke about them was the tipping point. I don't care how they feel about the situation. Will Smith still has no right to go get
yeah,
violent.
right.
That's not how civilized people address their issues. So the solution, obviously, it's a PR disaster for the Academy, and they're just trying to save face here. This is all.
Yeah, obviously that's what that is.
That's what it is.
Because it took this long for them to do that.
Right, and also Will Smith is a huge character. He can't really, they can't really strip him of his award. There's been people who were like saying that's what you're supposed to do to send a strong message. He needs to lose his award. I think that's harsh. That's going way too far. That's why I think their decision is fair. Now, I'm torn obviously because I feel like it's weak as hell. But it's weak because
He should have for life. He should never come back.
no, he should be mandated. Well, obviously, a corporation can't mandate Will Smith to do anything, but Will Smith should go on a tour promoting nonviolence. He should have been arrested that day.
Well,
And
Chris Rock
escorted
showed
out.
that he was like, higher than that, better than that. Because they would have done that if he were to press charges. Because he could have.
All hats go off to Chris Rock. He definitely
He was
demonstrated.
so professional and just very, just classy.
Yeah,
How he
that was
handled
definitely
the
very
entire
classy
thing.
of him.
And it was really good what he did. How he handled the entire situation.
Obviously, because of how big a star Will Smith is, the Academy didn't immediately react by calling the security. Security should have definitely been called. Will should have definitely been escorted out, and his award should have been given, maybe delayed or put on hold or something like that. But they had to let the event go on. They were probably in shock and not even know what to do.
Also, it's like, how do you do that to Will Smith though?
Yeah, he's such a big character.
It's really hard. You kind of have to go like, wait a second, are we even allowed to escort him out? Like,
it's like trying to escort the boss out.
right.
It was a tough call. It was definitely a tough call. So I get it. I get that's why I think it's fair. Now we can put it behind us. But I really think that Will Smith needs to pay more. He needs to go on a national tour.
He should, but just for his own reputation.
Right. If he's smart, he should
I
do
don't
that.
know if that's like a corporate thing. I don't think that the Academy Awards needs
No, they
to
can't
force
do
him
that
to
anyway.
Yeah. I don't think it should be anyone else's business to save his reputation but him. So yeah, he should do that, but it has to come from him.
That's that. I don't have anything else to say. Good luck to y'all.